see my screen?
Yes, can see the screen.
Mr. Tishan Subasinghe, Chairman of the Member Relations Committee, and our resource person, Dr. Chamara Bandara. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. Capacity building of our practicing members and giving some input for young members who are expecting to start their own practices have been identified as an area we should focus during this year. So, it was identified as a key area due to many reasons. The first one, there are plenty of new opportunities available for our practicing members, especially in the areas like forensic accounting and investigations, BP operations, information system audits, mergers and acquisitions, business valuations, and due diligence engagements. However, most of our practicing members don't get into these areas due to not having the required expertise with them. Therefore, so we felt that we should organize few sessions focusing on those areas to help our members, especially the practicing members and young members, to develop their capacity and help them to expand their practices. The second one, International Audit and Assurance Board recently issued the new standard on quality management. This standard requires some additional requirements to be fulfilled by our practicing members. So, therefore, we thought we should organize couple of sessions to give some input for our practicing members on these additional requirements or these new requirements. Third one, fairly good number of young members are expecting to start their own practices. They have informed us so. They have requested us to give some input on how to start a new practice. Therefore, due to reasons of this nature, so we decided to organize a series of sessions covering those new areas, especially with an intention of giving some input for practicing members and young members. This task was assigned to Member Relations Committee headed by our able chairman, Mr. Tishan Subasinghe. And Tishan has already prepared a comprehensive plan identifying the topics and resource persons to be delivered to you all during the next 2 to 3 months. I am very confident that this program will be really helpful for all of you. I wish all the best and I hope that you all will have a fruitful session today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Niroshi, now I'll be able to formally start the session, no?
Yes, Tishan, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chamara Bandara, we welcome you all for this inaugural session of the series, Start Your Own Practice and Practice Management. So, before we move on to the first session, I would like to take 2-3 minutes to shed some light on the core objective of organizing this sort of a series of sessions, right? Now, as a profession, unless we are going to have young practitioners, this profession would not be able to grow in strength to strength. So I believe as senior practitioners, maybe not so senior, we have this utmost responsibility to share our experience with the young membership particularly. So that's the core objective. And ladies and gentlemen, this series of seminars will not be sort of theoretical. These are really practical oriented sessions. Now, for instance, there are 18 sessions. We may increase the number. There are many other areas also that we can speak about. And after participating in these sessions, if at least a handful of members get inspired to start his or her own practice, I think we have reached our objective. And as practitioners, as senior practitioners, we are fulfilling our responsibility by providing a platform for experienced practitioners in various disciplines to come and share their experience in the profession. So with that, so let me just take you through the 18 sessions. First, starting your own practice. So Dr. Chamra Bandar, he started his own practice back in year 2003, if I'm not mistaken. He will speak about it. It will provide inspiration for a person to take the decision to move from a job in starting a practice, actually. Then acquire a firm and develop the practice. In terms of acquiring a practice, a proper due diligence to be done. Then after acquisition also, there are certain other challenges to be looked after, like, you know, retaining the existing clients who were so familiar with the previous practitioner, right? The loyalty of the client with the previous person, then how you maintain your relationship, the risk aspects to be looked at if you are intending to acquire an existing practice, then assurance and quality control, which is pretty much easy, but then there are increased quality related standards that we need to comply with. Then the secretarial practice, which is a bit of a different disciplines. Even the lawyers are into a secretarial practice. So in that context, how as chartered accountants we can have our competitive edge, right? And how to beat others who are really into secretarial practice in the market, establishing the name of the chartered accountant. Then risk-based internal audit. So the typical internal audits are now getting vanished. There are new ways of performing internal audits. The technology is being used. I can see a lot of practitioners, they are not used to these technologies. So what would happen? When you use technology in terms of carrying out internal audits, your cost will come down. Well, you may have to invest something in terms of procuring the required software, etc. But then what happens? Your operational cost of carrying out an internal audit would come down. Then if we are still thinking of proceeding with routine internal audits, obviously your quotations, proposals will not be competitive in the market. Same thing will apply to audit and assurance practice and in many other areas also. You know, if you wouldn't get adapted to technology, your cost structures would go up in future. Then information systems audit, you know, that's also a discipline that our chartered accountants can think of entering into. In fact, I myself happen to be an information systems auditor. I could remember when I first started the information systems audit practice in my previous firm, there was nobody over and above me. I had to, you know, I mean, starting from designing the letter of engagement to scoping out assignments to delivering reports, everything, you know, I had to provide leadership. Right? And it was a different kind of experience. So we'll deploy a expert information systems auditor to speak about that aspect. Then valuation practice. You know, ladies and gentlemen, just because the person got a first class degree in financial management, or if the person is a prize winner in corporate finance or financial management, I don't think the person can straight away go and start a valuation practice. It's a totally different ball game, converting your knowledge into service products, right? So that's the whole objective of this series of seminars, converting your knowledge into service products. You may be a good academic. It doesn't mean that you can go to the market and convert your knowledge into various kind of service products. So ladies and gentlemen, it's an art. It's an art. I'm sure that during the series of discussions, the resource personnel would share that art, and that art will come into you over a period of time. So if you have proper mentoring, then you would be lucky. If not, over a period of time with your experience, you will be able to inculcate that art in to your practicing abilities. Then due diligence practice. When it comes to due diligence, there are many kinds of due diligence, right? Before I speak about due diligence, the contract is how to formulate the engagement letter, right? So generally it's been carried out by way of agreed upon procedures. But then when it comes to due diligence, there are various kinds: financial due diligence, tax due diligence, IT due diligence, HR due diligence, technology due diligence, operational due diligence, marketing due diligence, right? We may not have all the resources. That in that context, we can retain people and offer it as a unique service product to our clients, right? Then there's sell side due diligence, buy side due diligence. So all these things we can discuss. Then the BPO practice, which is an emerging area. I'm not referring to BPO practice in Sri Lanka, but you can find enough and enough opportunities across the world, right? And then they are now the most commonly used software is zero accounting. And if you have that software, your BPO practice can be taken to next level. And there are many other softwares also. I believe that you should have this knack and insight if you are planning to start your own practice. Then the tax practice, you may be an expert in tax laws, but then practically there's a way of dealing with the inland revenue officers. There's a way of dealing with clients. There's a way to cover your risks. There are certain litigation risks that a tax practitioner would also be exposed to. So all these things we would like to share. Then HR management. HR management of a firm would be very much important. Why? Finally, it's all about dealing with the people. So offering service products to whom you're offering to people, right? So unless you have a competent pool of staff, you will not be able to properly discharge your expected service standards. So HR management, retaining the right person, managing them, enhancing their skill sets, training them, and managing your cash flows along with the resources to identify the right resource, retaining them, totally different art. Right, and we have not included, but nowadays we can conduct HR audits also. Right, HR audits. There are certain advisory or consulting opportunities when it comes to human resource aspects, and this skill is really lacking in the market. The HR consultants. Then training and development. Unless we invest in training and development, the growth of a firm would be really slow. Yeah, your staff would be the interface between the firm and your prospective clients. So it's very important for your staff to go and demonstrate the knowledge. So these training and development activities need to be properly planned at the initial phase. Once you start up your firm, it would be difficult, but institute is there to help the young practitioners. Going forward, we have planned it out to offer unique training programs for SME staff members. So you will get communication going forward that will also be routed through member relations division. In fact, today only I had the discussion with the president. Then mergers and acquisitions. There are a lot of mergers and acquisition deals happen in the market, right? So any merger and acquisition related assignment would involve negotiation. And sometimes as practitioners in between, we had to facilitate this negotiation. Negotiation is a different art, right? Negotiation, especially in the context of a merger and acquisition, different art. And when it comes to mergers and acquisitions in a family business, a totally different ball game to a merger and acquisition in the open market, maybe with respect to PLCs, right? The sentiments, the negotiation skills, and the expectations are pretty much different. Then robotics and IT advisory. Amongst our membership, there could be members who are really good at IT and who are really updated and who has got some interest and inclination towards IT related services. Then you can package your knowledge into service products and deliver. So one of the experts who's offering robotics and IT advisory services would be speaking out in that line. Then business transformation and compilation of SOPs. SOP stands for standard operating procedure manuals. A very good line of service. Generally, if I get a request to compile a SOP, I charge in most of the cases, over 1 million rupees at least. People don't know these things, but then it's again a different discipline. And this business transformation and compilation of SOPs, there are enough billing opportunities, service related opportunities in that area. Then forensic audits and investigation. In fact, I'm going to do that session. Just because we have an accounting, we can't go and undertake forensic audits. I have seen people producing forensic reports, but then it's again a totally different ball game. You can't provide good forensic reports if you don't have a better idea on the provisions of the penal code, right? And what I do generally when I get engaged with a forensic audit, I study the case, the incident, and I try to articulate the offense in the penal code for me to structure the engagement letter, the scope of work. The scope of work is structured in such a way to match identified offenses as per the penal code, but then we do not give reference to the penal code. For instance, the particular incident may be related to criminal breach of trust, or it could be under criminal misappropriation of assets, or property, plant, and equipment, or it could be cheating. All these are different offenses as per the penal code of trial. And if you don't have proper idea about these offenses, what would happen? We would go and do our work, but the report would be of no use to the lawyer when it comes to litigation. So you need to have, these are the industry secrets. I would share happily with you all. And there's a process afterwards. So once we do our report, then we had to follow the litigation. We have to go give evidence to the DA, the police, whatever the law enforcement authority, and there are certain risks to be covered in those areas. We like to share our practical experience. Then practice management and quality control. This is all about managing the practice and ensuring compliance with the quality standards, right? So a senior practitioner would share his experience in that regard. Then legal perspective of practitioner and professional negligence. Ladies and gentlemen, under law of delict, professionals are subjected to charges on negligence. And in Sri Lanka, we are covered with the Roman Dutch law. You would have heard this famous case when it comes to professional negligence, Dr. Priyanidhi Soisa's case. We can learn a lot. And when you get engaged with an engagement, it's very important for you to have an understanding about these legal provisions for you to cover your risk. And some of these risks you will be able to cover through the letter of engagement, right? And especially as a young new practitioner, when you have an insight or when you have knowledge on these litigation risk areas, you will be able to cover yourself, right? I mean, if somebody wants to sue you for professional negligence, you got to be prepared. And at the planning stage, at the contract stage, and at the LOE, letter of engagement letter stage, you'll be able to take measures to cover yourself. So this is the program, 18 sessions. As I told you first, we may increase the number of sessions based on the feedback that we receive. And now let's move on to the today's session. Today, our speaker is none other than Dr. Chamara Bandara. He is a consulting entrepreneur with more than 15 years of experience in business advisory and professional practice. He is the founder of SCB Corporate and Corporate Doctors Private Limited and Berry Technology. He is a country representative of Faster Capital, a global business incubator. His experiences being a chartered accountant helped many SMEs to become successful businesses. He is an expert in entrepreneurship, business success, and failure, where the areas of his PhD. That's why we call him Dr. Chamara Bandara. And I don't know, I mean, many of you may not know, he was the mastermind behind establishing the Young Chartered Accountants Forum, YCAF. I could remember back in year 2009 or 10. One fine day, he called me and said, look, Tishan, I've got this idea. We should have a forum for the young chartered accountants. So, and I also supported this course. It was his idea. And when he started his practice also back in year 2003, he asked, look, I want to move out from my job and start my own practice. If you are interested, we can make a plan. I told him that time, look, I'm making plans to go abroad. I want to accumulate some foreign experience, and I did not pursue. But then he pursued his vision, he established his practice. And I know with a lot of efforts at the initial phase, he has grown up, and now he is very well established in his practice. We work together on certain assignments as we carry out some assignments jointly. I know his capabilities. So with this, I would like to invite Dr. Chamara Bandara to share his experience with this distinguished audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tishan and the team that they organize these kind of events for our members, irrespective of their age, experience, etc. And also special thanks to Sanjay Bandara, newly appointed president of the Institute. Having said that, I'm very privileged and proud to be a presenter at the inaugural session. That is a kind of honor for me. Right now, today's session that I'm going to talk about, that's my experience. Yes, true. But I'm going to take you through some presentation slides that share my experience as well. In this particular session, I may use some words. Honestly, why I use those words to encourage you to become practitioners. That is the motive. As I said, irrespective of the age, I assume all will start their practice after this session one day. So having said that, let me share my presentation slides. Let me go this way. I hope this is clear.
Yes, Chamara, it's clear.
Right. So now, starting your accounting firm, accounting practice. I remember when I was just after I qualified, I was thinking there are certain ways that I'm looking at some opportunities. Even Tishan told me today that I have invited him as well. So likewise, that's a process that I started even just before I become a chartered accountant. So this planning was a key thing when it comes to my practice and its success. So when it comes to planning, the imagination, you're getting someone experience, following role models, etc., etc. I was doing so much, passionate about that, so much of energy, highly determination. Likewise, I remember when I just recall this is a vivid recollection because of experience that is a first-time experience that I got. Right. So let me start this way. Start in your accounting firm. Now, start in your accounting practice. Now, Tishan told, right now he told just about many technical aspects of practice. Yes, that's true. Right? Those are our professionals. So therefore, we must know exactly the things what we are to. Tishan given a list of services, product. We can do it for our clients, provide our clients. Those are the services that normally we talk about. But beyond that, to make your business a success or your practice a success, there are certain things that we must learn or develop in person. So therefore, first question, setting up an accounting practice, what does it mean? Right? Not that because of your qualified or something else is there. Let's see. This is my answer. So having the grit to become an entrepreneur. That's it, right? So having an accounting practice that you're going to have your accounting firm, we call it my audit firm in Sri Lanka, right? That means you are going to be an entrepreneur. For you to become an entrepreneur, or for me to become an entrepreneur, or anyone to become an entrepreneur, that person should possess the grit, the grittiness. The grittiness, this particular term is not my word. This is someone else in USA, a professor lady. Through her research, she has found someone to become a successful person, to achieve something, that person should possess grittiness. It means that having high score in your classrooms or school, universities, that doesn't mean that one day you become that achiever or successful person in any term. Therefore, grit is the growth mindset. Grit is the growth mindset. Other one is that is a perseverance. Easy to remember, growth mindset. You should have the growth mindset. I had that one right from the beginning. I didn't know the word grit those days. Now I know what's the reason that what it pushed me to become a successful person or an entrepreneur. So that's a grit. So people should have grit. If you have grit, you become an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur means itself job giver, right? Entrepreneur means job giver, not the job seeker. Now I'm not the job seeker. I'm giving jobs. or I'm helping someone to give jobs, right? So likewise, we are adding directly some value to the economy. So that's why I'm always encouraging people to look at that angle. We are so qualified with many experience and so much of experience qualification. Still, we are working under someone. Come on. Don't you think we must get ourselves changed? That is the reason, just as Tishan mentioned, Young Chartered Accountants Forum 2009. The first objective we mentioned there is entrepreneurship. I saw something missing in Sri Lanka. There's a big vacuum in Sri Lanka. We all were groomed to become employees of someone. Otherwise, we wait foreign direct investment to come to Sri Lanka. That means other entrepreneurs, investors should come to Sri Lanka. So that is our culture. That was really painful in my mind, right? Painful in my mind. So that's, I was looking something with my less experienced, immature person. What is the reason, etc. Likewise, the thinking process really pushed me to become an entrepreneur. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm a consulting entrepreneur. So I'm a job giver. I'm not the job seeker. When it comes to job seeker, I use another word to encourage you people, in brackets, job beggar, right? So I don't want to be a job beggar hereafter. I'm going to be my own boss. That's my own firm. That's my own freedom. That's my car and petrol. So therefore, that's the way I thought of to start my own practice. Right. Now, when it comes to practice, now Tishan told the lots of technical products that we can do. True. We must improve those definitely. So then, to become a successful entrepreneur or successful practitioner, you must possess some entrepreneurial skills. These are very, very important. Otherwise, you get frustration, disappointment, maybe some other issues, etc. that you may face if you don't possess or develop, improve your skills. Those are entrepreneurial skills. Entrepreneurial skills, we have learned it from our theory subject, many, but still for all, I'll take this point to take my experience to you in this manner. So, you know very well, entrepreneur is risk taker. No doubt, we always advise people take the calculated risk. Don't take, risk that you can't bear, manage and control. So risk-taking ability. What is the risk-taking ability that I had those days in 2001, 2? That means I had to give up my job. Come on, I'm just married. I had to give up my job. Giving up a job itself a risk. Why? No income, zero income. Even my account, small money saved. Those days, I was doing a lecture, so I had some money though, but still small money, not enough at all. So that is a risk. So if someone right now in the group audience, if you are a CFO, finance manager, accountant, you are well established with that position. Now you think that you are an entrepreneur, say here is accounting firm, and you have to give up that. If you give up, maybe you are having a housing loan, maybe some other loans, lease, etc., and from your family pressure. So therefore, you are taking the risk that you are giving up your job, that you are going to lose that income, continuously coming income every month. So that's the risk. Or otherwise, if just a person recently qualified, who is here now, say, now he can do a job, right, with some salary that the person can get from the market. Now you are going to do practice. You're going to account and practice in account. So now your potential income that you are going to give up. So that is a risk that you are taking. So therefore, we must get that risk. If you think that's why I want to be a practitioner, come on, I'm going to lose my income. No, I can't do, etc. So no, you have to take the risk. If you want to take the risk, take your practice forward. Any business would be a success, definitely 100%. Next important thing, remember, should be profit motive. Don't ever think that, no, we are chartered accountant, this and no. Should be profit motive. You should have profit motive. Because why do I am telling this way? When it comes to entrepreneurial definitions, it says very clearly, entrepreneur is a risk-taking person, his motive is profit motive, and he's creating ventures business, right? So that's a definition in dictionaries if you can find. So there should be profit motive. Now this profit motive push you to earn profit. It should be, right? And also it's loss-making. If you are an entrepreneur, you know that the definition itself defines you that you have to make profit, turn around it to make profit. Even if you're a consultant, Like me, I know the client is making losses. I must able to advise him how to turn it around. Right? That's the important of knowledge, experience, what should have. So therefore, this profit motive is very, very important. Next one is service orientation. You mean, right? This is very, very important. You should be service orientation, so service oriented person. Remember that. So that's kind of a quality the practitioner should have as an entrepreneur, not like an employee. Doesn't matter, even an employee should have the service orientation. Very good. Those are called entrepreneurial employees. You can be an entrepreneur employees, you are service oriented. What is service orientation? When it comes to client, you're so well focused. That is your client. You have to deliver things on time. The client is in trouble, you must help him. Look at his perspective, right? Come up with some solution, help that he can grow his business. So therefore, this service orientation is very important. I remember that I didn't know these facts before. Through my experience and learning. And I remember just I started the firm, I got a call from my sister. I'm sharing my experience, okay? I got a call from my elder sister. I was having a chat, just a chat with her. And then all of a sudden I got a call from my client, newly joined client. I told my sister, so I'm sorry that I can't continue this discussion. I want to attend to my client. So I attended my client. I returned my call, elder sister. She said, look here, Malli, definitely you'll be a successful person. Why? I said, why? No, you stop your call conversation with me, but you given a priority to your client. I really appreciate you. So I said, okay, come on. I didn't think of that way. So that service orientation without that, I even not knowing to me sometimes, I did it. Because why? There's a financial risk over there. I have obligation to fulfill. My family is waiting. I have to pay my house rent, right? Etc. etc. Right? That moment I didn't have a car, but within maximum 3 months, I bought a new car, honestly. So that's not that proud, but still achieved within 2 months or maximum 3 months. So then obligation was created right in front of me. Once obligation is created, you are self-driven. Remember, those are challenges. So therefore, you can set challenges for yourself, to you. Rather, even society would challenge you, or maybe some other circumstances would challenge you. But nevertheless, try to get challenges. So obligation, once you are obliged, so you have to drive, no turn, right? So therefore, those things driven me. So I took it, oh, wow, nice experience. I didn't know when I put the obligation right in front of me. So I had to drive. That is a self-driven. Then I learned, okay, this is what school. So I have now lease to pay, house rent, family, etc. I have to support my family, parents. Oh, come on. So bit of challenging, obligation. So I have to achieve, I don't come back, right? So technical know-how. Even those days, I didn't have much computer knowledge. Honestly, I'm telling you. So I was so worried just after my intern, worrying why we did not get that technical know-how. Okay, so it's there certainly. Even when it comes tax practice, we did not go deep into that. We know so audit trainees we would call, right? We did not go. That's right. We can't blame them. So therefore, what did I do? I started doing everything by myself. Because I started learning, even negotiating with the assessors, commissioners, sometimes it's boring. I know, it's fed up. Nevertheless, I learn a lot. So therefore, day by day, I improve my technical knowledge. Even the secretarial practice, I do anything. I didn't do anything before. Only I know the Companies Act, right? That's what we got it for our exam studies. That's only I know. So what I did, I used some strategy. So this is why I'm an entrepreneur. I had to use strategy. So then I recruited a retired person from Register of Companies. Retired. So I remember his name is Sunil. I can't remember Sunil Jayasingham. He's an old person. I got a nice deal with him. Right? So then he started doing things for me. I learned through him. Right? I learned through him. That's the way I got this practice into myself. I know the theory. I know the law. But still, it requires some practice. I learned it. Etc. etc. I got into this technical know-how. So therefore, technical know-how, critically important. Why? You are a sole practitioner sometime. At the time of your starting your firm, right? Everything is new because you don't have many employees. Maybe you have 1 or 2 employees. I'm also telling you, I had one table, one employee. Employee was my student, right? He was my student. So that's what. Therefore, as sole practitioner, right? SMP, small and medium practitioners, we must know everything, right? Why we can't hire other experienced qualified employees to the firm because of the cost factor. But if you can invest, you must invest for that, right? Technical knowledge is important. Then the financial management, as I told you before, this financial management was critical, but for me it wasn't painful. You know why? I was expecting those challenges. Next thing, that I educated my wife. It was a young wife, nicely. So remember, before you start your practice or any business that you want to be an entrepreneur, remember to talk to your wife or husband. It's must, because they must also understand your new journey. That is not that easy at the beginning. Remember, right? Not the beginning, only this problem comes. After that, you have your own kingdom, your freedom. You are an emperor of your own kingdom. So having that mind, it's very clear. So you can educate your family. What are you going to do? Otherwise, they were got used to a salary or something income that you were generating. All of a sudden, the salary of the income is going to be zero sometimes. Therefore, there could be a differences. So your time commitment at the beginning of any business, including accounting practice, definitely you must get your family support. If the family support, if you can't get, especially if you are married spouse, wife, or husband, he or she should understand the journey. Understand doesn't mean that they should help you physical. All right, if they can do it, that's okay. But I'm telling you, at least to boost your morale, not to demoralize you, right? Discourage you. So many things. Right? Those entrepreneurs are just calling me now, getting some kind of advice, young entrepreneurs, young people, right? Therefore, those things will come from behind. So keep ready that family also aware with your new journey, that you are going to be an entrepreneur, your accounting practice, accounting firm. Then the people's management is, as Tishan also very clearly said, this is one of the most important criteria. People's management skill. If I say this in one word for you to understand, that is, you should be a heart officer. What is that? Heart officer, right? You know what's a heart, right? So heart officer, right? Should be a heart officer. Because why? Now, when you become an entrepreneur, remember, you can't possess or process your ego much. Why? Right? Upon your leadership, so many are coming behind. You are not an employee, CEO, CFO, finance manager. No, you are a leader now. So therefore, heart officer, you have to be, when this firm's culture, let me share my experience. So I had some experience before, even when I'm getting my training, doing jobs. I didn't do many jobs, maybe one. I'm collecting my experience from those places, good and bad, right or wrong, whether it gives benefit or not. So I'm collecting those. So therefore, I sometimes decide, no, I don't want to do that. I should not go into that culture. That is not the culture what I want. So therefore, I learn it from my theory. Your culture, organizational culture is more important. So it's here in the head. So what is this about theory, what I learn? So then I'm going to start my own business, practice. I want to change the culture. Fine. Number one, I decided by myself, in my room, my table, I don't keep what's called land phones. No land phone even right now at my office. I have only my hand phone. So why did I do that? I decided I should walk out to my employees, not that employee should come to my room. Then they can see my brisk walk, not that catwalk, my brisky walk. I'm walking very fast, right? So I want to show them, energize them, activate them, right? Let me go to them, right? So that's I started with that way. Then next important cultural element I brought to my firm: no attendant register. Can you believe that those days everywhere in Sri Lanka attendant registers? Yes, 100% attendant register. Why? This came from all years back when that English fellows were running the country. So why these attendant registers? Or just ask, it's pressurizing you. Even you are a genuine guy, sometimes you are penalized, right? So it happened to me in some occasion. I'm really to the point and honest. I'm trying my best to manage it. So even sometimes this that demotivate a good person, high performer, disturb high performing people. So I decided no attendant register. Having said that, still that there's a question in my mind. Many people were doing that when you say, why I don't do? Is there something wrong that I'm doing? Therefore, I did a small study, research. I studied of all 30, 40 people, even within a very short period. Institute only given for 10 people as interns under you. So that I exceed, it went beyond. So therefore, I can't recruit more. There's a limitation also with that. Only one chartered accountant can monitor, supervise only 10 people. Then Suchiva Rajpak that time, maybe that on the committee was my supervisor. I told him, look, yes, sir, this problem I have. Somehow we tried the best to increase 2 people. Likewise, there are some limitations, right? I didn't go to challenge those things, but had limitation. So then I increased in different ways number of people of my firm within a shorter period of time. So then attendant register, just come to study. I got attendant register. I mean, I just checked later with everybody. So how many, people misuse this one? Can you imagine? Only 99% they do right thing. Only 1 to 2% misuse this rule or the control. I'm so happy that my experiment worked very well. So 1 or 2% why I decided the 1 or 2% harsh punishment. When it comes to harsh punishment also, we are telling them, look here, his name is Tishan, my intern. Look here, Tishan, why I'm telling this to make you happy one day. I want to correct you. Don't do hereafter. Not because of anything else to pinpoint and say you are wrong. No, you did something right, I'm going to punish you. No. So this is what the reason. So with that, there are a bit of kind of control over there. They understand it. We check it again whether they do the same. So then you might question, okay, so how can you manage work? The attendant register is not maintained, recorded? No. We have work oriented in the sense time budget that everyone knows. The time budget. Sometimes, so I'll tell you, that's a one count. No attendance. Second one, even the culture, I'm telling them and told them, right? When I come to you, file I saw some people, when I come, they're scared of me. You know what's the reason? You were scared of fear of your father, fear of your brothers, big brothers, fear of your teachers, fear of your university lecturers sometimes. Now, when it comes to workplace, you have fear of boss. So this is what our leadership or our skills brought back to, kind of, therefore, they are very young people still. When I go to them, they get scared. I said, don't open the file. Leave it. If you don't have work, that's okay. If you don't have work, we have managers now, etc. there. Talk to them, go home. Right? You go home. Otherwise, if you can't go home, there's another table, go and whatever you like, you do it. Right? This is what honestly still we are doing. I said, that's a file. Why you do when I see you? That's lovely. Yes, nice people don't do that. You respect me, that's okay, because I'm giving directions and so forth, and I'm educating you, teaching you, that's fine. But no point of standing out from the seat. So that's I changed right from the beginning. And also, so this is the culture still happening there. You go there, my employees are happy. I'm asking one question most of the time when they see me. Are you happy? Sometimes, are you happy being working with us? They say yes. Sometimes I know the face or facial reaction is not that good. Then the second question, if you don't mind, can I know that problem? Like up to that, we are trying to make ourselves happy. So that's what entrepreneur always looking at how they are employees. Apart from that, I have a responsibility toward my interns. Why? They do join your firm not to earn money. That's not critical. They don't join your firm because of they want to earn money. They join your firm to experience and knowledge. You must be able to give. So they have very systematic way. I'm telling always my people, you can learn technical things within 6 to 1 year. Auditing, tax, right? But beyond that, you can't do something learn within 1 year. There are so many other things. Remember. So therefore, even though the practical experience book it says it should be the case, we are giving more than that. Once employee join a firm, I'm giving another exercise. What is the exercise? After 2 days, actually one particular exercise we do at office also. I'm asking them to write an essay. An essay, the day that you join the first day interview and the next day, what is your kind of observation of the firm? So why do I do that? I know their writing skills. I said, don't copy. If you copy from somewhere I know, don't copy, write in your own handwriting with a pen, share it with me. Or otherwise, doesn't matter, use computer. So then I can see their communication, writing abilities. Then I decide what next to be done. That's one element of training. That's what we do here in our firm. So likewise, there are certain things that we do to make our business or the practice a good culture. And also, one KPI I have given to many executives in my firm. What is that KPI? What I'm saying, I should not get complaints from clients. I should not get complaints from the client. So that's a KPI. So why do I do that one? I want to make my firm self-driven. Self-driven. My firm is self-driven, autopilot. Right? So they know. Why do I say like that? Then they know they have to manage the situation. They know that strict bit of the client calls me and put his complaint, so that I take it a bit serious. Next one, I have given as advice to them. Think, on this planet, you are the only human being is living. On this planet, only the human being, that is you, living. So no one else that you can ask. No one else will help you find your solution. Take your own decision, right? They do that. If there's a mistake, I tolerate, right? Even sometimes when it comes to executive, they are qualified. Even writing email is the first para. I said, be polite, don't be like an accountant, right? That nice greeting. Put it that. Say your message afterward. Up to that, I have trained them. So it goes, through the experience now with the culture. So it is self-driven. So this culture, what I didn't like before, I got that experience to turn it around. Next thing is that, as I told you, when it comes to technology, computers, I didn't know before. But from that day onwards, I decided, no, my practice should be fully computerized right from the beginning, right? So we computerized everything. Right from the beginning. Those days, I think big firms also didn't have computerized environment. So then some firms, only one room, it had computers. It's a cool room, air-conditioned room. Only certain people can have their access to computers. So I was like, come on, me, what is this? I'm talking to myself, even though Tishan, talking to myself, what is this? This is stupid. Okay. So likewise, imagine myself to get that thing to my place. It's a computerized. So with the computerized, I tell you something, I got a nice, I awarded nice assignment from the institute because my staff is computer environment, familiar, right? Conversant people. So likewise, institute staff recognize my staff is much conversant with the computers than other small and medium practitioner staff. So this is what the firm's culture, how I brought into. So that's I said, it's a self-driven autopilot. Right? Marketing is skills. Come on. So we are accountants. So we can't do marketing skills. We don't have marketing practices. No, we must do. Only limitation what we have is that we can solicit business. We can advertise openly. Remember openly, I use the word openly. So that's because that's true, right? You can't advertise yourself that you are doing audit, etc. So then how you have to, overcome this barrier? There could be different means and ways. That time even I didn't think. Right now you can think of different marketing skills. In that, communication ability in verbal and written, both very important. I'll tell you later when it comes to marketing. One example, I got it here, one of our members, how we use marketing ability, his skills to make his practice much better place. That is business advice. I don't know whether he's in this group though, Viraj. So Viraj, a strategy to have his own practice established, he used a YouTube channel that is business advice. I openly putting his name out because we must encourage them. We must appreciate them. There could be many that I don't know, I'm sorry. So I know Viraj. His channel he used to make himself available to the market. Behind, he has his own consultancy and audit firm. So likewise, he's going through that channel, his visibility, awareness, promotion, strategically, indirectly, bring to the potential client. So there could be many other ways that you can think, but I did not think those days, right? So Viraj is one example. So likewise, you can think different ways that you can get your practice known to others, right? Being a chartered accountant qualified person doesn't make any sense if others do not know that you are doing a practice, good services, you are service oriented person, right? You are technically know how is superb, wonderful. That message should send across to the people that they will definitely say hi to you, right? Next important thing is, before you start your practice, even any business, your purpose should be very clear, precise, crystal clear, right? Why it should be crystal clear? Because as I told you, the driven, self-driven, right, courage will come with the purpose. So what are those purpose in case of, in simple terms, as some example, there could be many. Your strength, come on, I'm a CFO, finance manager, I'm running a show, big show. So your strength, you're so powerful, energetic. You can lead people, especially, right? People will listen to you. People will respect you, whatever reasons. You are knowledgeable. Hey, you are an employee for someone, come on. So that, again, I'm telling you, I'm trying to encourage you, motivate you. So that energy that you must understand, your strength you must understand. If you're such a powerful person, if you can be that up to that level of person, if you put that effort and skills and experience to your own one, as I told you, you are an emperor of your own kingdom, right? So strength is another one. Then the weaknesses. If you have some weakness, some you recognize some weak, I can't work under someone, getting annoyed. And so many other things that you're an overthinker, right? You are an overthinker, etc., etc. Your weaknesses. That you might think that I want to be my boss, that's enough. Just look at that angle. Look at yourself or strength. Even sometimes your weakness, you matter bad. No, your weaknesses you can put into an opportunity. Remember. So that's also another important thing, right? I'll ask a question from Tishan. Which one that you can put me in this particular area? So Tishan, you are there, right? So right. Next, common area that's in the world. Entrepreneurship began, that is because of unemployment, right? Maybe economic recession. Even you remember that with the COVID lockdown, you never saw them before on the side of the road with nice cars. They're selling roti and whatever things, right? So entrepreneurship sometimes getting communicated whether they know or not, try to start something. This is a universal fact that unemployment might push you to have your own practice on business. To build your freedom. To build your freedom. If you think that, okay, that's enough, I have my own freedom, what should you do? You should have your own business, your own practice, your own company. So therefore, if you want to, if you are a freedom fighter for yourself, right? This is one of the reasons for me. Freedom fighter for yourself, remember to have your own journey, right? Otherwise, you are bound with some things. So therefore, it's a boundless person that you can be. Maybe retirement. Right now, we are thinking of a retirement after some age that I can't do this job, so I'm going to have some problem. If you think that it's a retirement is the case for you, look at carefully. This is I'm telling you, whether you're young, middle age, or even after, right? You can think of when I'm reading or studying for my PhD, I came across with one article, but it says that the creativity and innovation that is coming much bigger and more way when you reach 40 and beyond. It's a scientific study, 40 and beyond, maybe because of experience and maturity and etc. So therefore, you don't ever think that I'm 40 and 50. No, I can't. No. Don't ever think like that. You can do it. That is core competencies you have, right? You are much mature and experienced than maybe junior young person. So that is what the core competencies, what we learn from our theory, or what we can get from our experience. So therefore, you have more core competencies. You can use that one. Or next one, enough being a cog in the wheel, right? I hope you understand. You are always subordinate, but you are essential person to the organization. You are fed up with being a cog, right? You decide, I don't want to be a subordinate hereafter. I want to be myself. As I told you, be yourself, boss for yourself, right? So maybe that is fed up, it's too much, being a cog in the wheel. So you decide, no, this is enough. So that's very clear. So therefore, something else I mentioned here, there could be many other purposes. For me, in this case, I did not recognize my strengths before. Honestly, I'm telling you, it took some time for me to compare myself with others. It came late. I don't compare, but it happened to me some. It's not the beginning, honestly. My weaknesses. I can't work under someone. I'm overthinker. I know this is stupid, right? So I shouldn't tell like that to him or the boss or whoever. That's antagonize. I don't build nice relationship. So therefore, I decided, this is not going to work for me, right? So I want to be my boss myself. So this is what it happened to me. Those are challenges. I found myself beating. Then later I realized I have strength too, but Tishan is having so much strength than me, right? Like as people can have, as I told you, core competencies, it depends on the person to person. Therefore, you don't ever see that. No, I don't have. No, you can improve. Still, I'm improving. My most improved period of my skills and networking, etc., was the pandemic period. Honestly, I think I wrote articles, this and that, being at home, right? Help people. Even I gave some people start their business, right? Myself improved a lot. Like us, we got those difficulties into opportunities, right? So that's how that entrepreneurs are behaving, right? That's how leaders, entrepreneurs are behaving. So we behave that way rather there are plenty of things to blame. Yes, we should, right? We have to raise our voice, but nevertheless, remember, you don't forget yourself to improve. So these are some reasons, purposes. Just I can tell you, but there could be more than this. But what I want to say, the message: be purposeful. Purpose, be clear. Should be clear, right? No, it shouldn't be. I mentioned here emotional decision. No, don't take emotional decision for business to make business. Entrepreneur, right? Don't take emotional decision. No, after some time, that emotional, feelings that you don't have. So it could be a failure, business failure. Then just a philosophical exercise, don't do. So Chamara is telling us to do business, others are telling everywhere in the world. Everywhere, I'm telling you, everything, my shirt, my watch, my specs, right? Shoes, everything came from entrepreneurs, right? Even the vaccines, you mean anything. right? Those are, ultimate product of entrepreneurs. So therefore, it shouldn't be a philosophical exercise or emotional decision. It should be very purposeful. Therefore, purpose should be very clear, right? Let me give me a second. Right. There are certain, I'm going to end my session with the time that given for me to present. So after that, teacher, and you can ask questions. So I can honestly reply, I can share my experience furthermore than this even. There are some special proficiencies that you have to improve, should have, right? When you have an accounting practice, some proficiencies. What are those? Knowledgeable than clients. We must be knowledgeable than clients. How did I learn this thing? Yes, there is an incident happened to me. This is my experience. I put it to theory now. Right? This is a theory, knowledgeable than clients. My experience, I put it to theory. So knowledgeable than clients. When I started my firm, first thing I did was I prepared the friends list of my friends, right? List of my friends, and I personally contacted them. I phoned them and look here, I need to support. I'm going to start my own thing. Okay, I appoint another friend to look after a place, small place too. That's a rent out. Likewise, friends is the first thing that I remembered. I should phone them, contact them. Even some people who are working in the big firm, big companies, rather firms, big companies. I told them, if you don't have assignments, you have to create it for me because you have to help me. I want to do this one. I openly communicate to them. So with that, one of my friends introduced another client. He's a very senior person that time by profession. He's a chemist. He's a successful entrepreneur, wealthy, rich person. I went to meet him. The age gap like, father and son. When I sit in front of him, honestly, the knowledge what he has or he had, it's uncomparable. I'm really come on where like I'm nothing compared to him. It's knowledgeable, it's tax, whatever business, everything is on. He's having his own business. His knowledge is far above. Then something happened to me, like, that ego what I had, that, that hit against my qualifications, right? That hit against my qualification. I was worrying, so I'm a chartered accountant. So then I realized being qualified doesn't mean that you are qualified. So then I realized I must get the knowledge. Objective, I must be knowledgeable than clients in any matters. So why? Because I'm going to be an advisor. They are going to trust you, right? So therefore, your knowledge should be. I know that he knew that I don't have much knowledge because a young person came in front of him. So that incident really hit against my qualification. Then I realized qualification is only a visa. At that moment, I realized the definition for my qualification. No one told me, right? No book that I read, I understood it. So my experience taught me qualification is only a visa. So without visa, they don't take you in. Without visa, you can't go and meet him. He called me, asked me to come because I'm qualified chartered accountant. That's my visa. So therefore, qualification is only a visa. So therefore, I gathered my knowledge. I went through in that path, reading, talking to the people, start my, education, academic, improvements of my knowledge, etc. Because those experience. Then now I think knowledge is one of the thing what I understand most important. What is that one? You must wonder. So knowledge is not that important. I realize now with my this maturity and experience. I'll tell you. How can I explain this to you? Do you know that questions normally asked? Lankawe Gangawal Hatarak Patenwa Kohinda Vatinne Kela. If you don't know, there are four rivers that is falling down from the hill up countries and level of the sea here down. So if you don't know that names, you're a bit of embarrassed, right? So what is the purpose of knowing those names? Did you ask the question to yourself? Okay, what is the purpose? Oh, I know these all four trees, Kalugaga, everything, right? Everything that I know, but what's the purpose of that? So, but you have to apply. Then I realized having knowledge doesn't make any sense unless you use it, apply it. Therefore, I decided having just knowledge is not enough. Use that knowledge. Then I remembered when I went to my school, I learned Vasi Avasi, right? Write down disadvantages and advantages. Why they taught us that time? Just to get through exam, to get high score. But actual purpose was maybe that teachers also did know when it comes to decision making, those knowledge you must use, right? So that's the knowledge. Therefore, knowledge what you have when it comes to this Ganga scene river things, I have some hydropower clients, mini hydropower clients. So I use that knowledge to advise my mini hydropower clients from Japan, right? Japan. So likewise, they found the area where that river, even if you're an entrepreneur having that knowledge person, you can start your mini hydropower plant because you know the names of rivers and where it's falling down. Go and see, inspect, visit and see where that you can have a mini hydropower. That's what my client did. So, right. So then you use it the way that add value to you, add value to you, what we have learned. So this is what I learned through my experience. Next important thing is that trustworthiness. You have everything you know. Technically, you are very sound. You get to a visiting card, business card full of qualification. Right? No one can challenge you, beat you with the qualification. But if I am not a trustworthy person to someone, so will they trust me? Will they give some work? No, I'm so super qualified guy. First, you have to maintain the trustworthiness. How did I learn this one? This is from fundamental principles of the profession, integrity. Right? Integrity. I forgot to bring a book here that how entrepreneurs taught about the trust. Right? So this trust, client should be able to trust. How can you make it? Right? When you say advice them to the point, be careful. In case something wrong with your figure, advice, the clients, nowadays clients are educated and intelligent and knowledgeable. If there's something wrong, come on, you can imagine the trustworthiness, that effort, remember. So they have to always be careful, figures. So we use some strategies, especially when I have foreign clients. So when it comes to them, I'm be careful when I'm writing emails with some information and facts and figures, verify. Sometimes it happens because we know all of a sudden law was changed. No one knows here in this country, right? So when you say something, the client, I remember it happened to me very recently, overseas client. So I said, this is what, but client replied me something else. So is it that charm it's happened because good relationship we have? So I said, no, I said no. Later I realized that was changed within a day, a letter, right? So this is what our country, they have to be careful when the law is getting changed. From time to time, you have to be vigilant and connected and sharing method. That's how even told Tishan, remember to share those changes are happening because there's no government institute connect with the practitioners. At least institute take the step to share. It doesn't mean the responsibility of the institute. At least we can have a nice relationship. So likewise, trustworthiness. If you say, okay, next week, I'll give this work, your report, Friday. Okay, Friday. Client waiting for that report Friday. Maybe project report. Maybe feasibility study, maybe that due diligence, because merger should happen so quickly. Client is waiting for due diligence. So those are, when it comes to clients, always I'm telling my people, remember they do business. If you give excuses, come on. So that is their bread and butter. Remember that. It happens to you, same scenario. So when it comes to this trustworthiness matters, in the Friday assignment to be given. Clients calls you Thursday, you don't respond to your phone. No answer, you know that you can't give it. So come on. Now this is the problem. So I don't answer the phone call that I know that is falling on that day, this Friday. Client trying to contact me, I don't answer the phone. No, if you do that, tells to them that you are not a trustworthy person, not a reliable person. Remember to answer the phone. Remember to answer. If you don't answer, if you can't answer, put a text, and within a certain time you should be able to return the call. Right? When it comes to calling matter, another cultural element I brought to myself and the firm. So after 6 o'clock in the evening, we don't respond to clients' phone calls right from the beginning. Right? Some people start calling, no response. I know that I'm not a cardiologist. I'm not a gynecologist to give that always an answer to my client. You are arrogant, is it? No, I'm not arrogant. I'm with my qualification. So then I want to make my client also be, mannered and cultured with the way that I do. They know that chamber won't answer weekends. They know they will call some occasions. So that doesn't matter. So those have to bring right from the beginning. That's easy for you. So you have to manage your family work and this and that. So you have kids. Even I have kids. You have to give our time, etc. So that's a balancing. Otherwise, like daytime, nighttime, you answering clients, calling them, and they ask, come on. So this is my advice. Don't be, but I did not. So trustworthiness. Then again, the respect. No need to tell you, right? Because your client going to respect you. You have to gain the respect. You can't get it by force. You're an entrepreneur, right? As an entrepreneur doesn't get that respect by force. Naturally, you get the respect. The respect, what I mean is that your knowledge. If you are a knowledgeable person, the respect. If you deliver things on time, they respect. If you advise them to groom or grow your business, the respect. If you advise them to resolve the conflict between partners, respect. If you advise them that they never thought before and business strategy, respect, right? The respect. Likewise, you have to. That's what I told you, knowledgeable than client. You can naturally gain that respect, right? So that's to get the respect, you have to accumulate knowledge, not the qualification, enough qualification. Gain knowledge, and then naturally you can get others' attention. You will be a respectful person to your clients and others. Technically sound. I told you before. When you come to SMP, small and medium practitioners, you don't have expertise in your office at the beginning, partner for tax, partner for some accounting standards like big firms. You can't do because it's sometimes not affordable. So then strategy should be an all-round. Simple example for that, GP, right? This general practitioner, this is physician, general physician, right? Doctor. He's a consultant for many areas, but he knows where that the client is with some severe issue. He will direct you to another sub specialty of that profession, right? So likewise here, your SMP practitioner should be all-rounder. Honestly, I'm telling you, it should be all-rounder. When you have a discussion, they discuss something else, but end up with something else at the time that you don't know. Sorry, right? Therefore, the confidence you can build should be an all-rounder. Networking abilities. This is another important thing. When you start your practice, as I told you, we can't advertise directly. There could be some various indirect methods that you can use, strategies you can use to get into your potential client. One is a networking ability. Remember, as a practitioner, that you have to be in your network. Maybe in our professional network, maybe Lions Club, whatever it's called. Essential. My first networking support is my friends. I call everyone, right? Everyone. So I got the network support. Even sometimes I remember still very well after once I start my practice. I heard about Ms. Asta Talwat that time in the institute having a small function there at the lawn. So directly I went to him and I introduced myself. Still I remember the day, the way that he welcomed. He doesn't know me. I don't think he didn't remember that day as well. So likewise, you have to get yourself, right? Make yourself available, promote to others. Then only they know you, that you are a practitioner, sole practitioner, or whatever it's called it. So networking is important. Nowadays, tech seminars. Tech seminars also critically right now is important. As I told you at the beginning, my environment is computerized environment, network. Now we don't do networking, we use cloud servers. Even our projects management, we are testing these days the project management tool. Even one resolution preparation from secretarial practices project, etc. The automatic alerts, communication that I'm getting response from others, project, estimated date of assignment. Now all computerized. All we use technology, right? Even a cloud service, for everything we use cloud service, right? So we use technology. For you to use that one, the lead entrepreneur must know about those tech seminars. Nowadays, things are happening, serverless technology, serverless platform. So that we are learning. So big data, even having whatever data, I should be able to analyze to softwares, right? Cryptocurrencies, it might not apply to us in recent time, but we must just look those things yourself improved because you are a lead of your business. So these some special proficiencies that we should improve when it comes to our practicing. Maybe with that, so I stop from at this point. So this is my firm. This is my son. So I know for sure son will not take the firm. I will sell firm, might sell the firm perhaps. Maybe that Tishan will next time, we'll talk about bring a person who start his career on the business practice. The person that who has already solved the practice. Therefore, my intention that is also not taking my firm back to my children. I do know whether I am not encouraging them to. They must have their own things. So that's what should be the leadership. It's coming from me to them. So this is my son Nimrod. So Tishan, thank you very much. This is over to you, Tishan.
Jamala, thank you very much. You have generously shared your experience, and then we do really value. In fact, I'm getting personal messages also appreciating you know, your presentation and generously sharing your thoughts. Chamara, I've got several questions. Now let me start. At the initial phase, how did you manage your cash flow? Like now, if you are into audit, I mean, generally, people start with audit tax related work, but those are seasonal, right? So billing happens in a particular period of the year. So how did you basically manage now? But in the meantime, every month you have to meet your rent expenditure and probably your vehicle lease expenditure, your salary bill, and many other fixed sort of expenses. At the initial phase, how did you manage this?
I strategize through products. When I was student intern, I realized many companies can't hire chartered accountant, expensive for them. Then I realized there should be a vacuum for me to work it out something for them. Therefore, I decided, in the sense, like, you know, kind of very solid decision of me that doing audits, the revenue will come once a year. I don't think I can manage my finance. I straight away start accounting process outsourcing, where that small clients, medium clients, monthly basis, I started giving our service. So where that I improved quickly and immediately my cash inflow. That's what I did. Then I realized, as I told you, audit and tax end of the income source, right? So it takes some time to get that, generate those revenues. Before that, I might establish survival. Survival is matters when it comes to small business in the practice. Then next one is a company secretarial service, incorporation, right? Quickly, I became expert of that area, right? So it's became multiple, you know, once I do a good thing for a client would say other person, word of mouth. That's what I use a trustworthy. He trusts me a lot. Quick, same day I'm sending the proposal, talk to them, go and meet them. I said very energetic, right? I'm encouraging them. So it's a word of mouth. They introduce me to others quickly, right? They trust me a lot, right? So that's how within 3 months, honestly, I'm telling you, it didn't go much. Somehow established my cash inflow, right? I know when it comes to incorporation, some clients gave some money that's in my account, right? So I know that I don't have money, whether I didn't use that. So, because that money, we should pay a register of companies, right? So we have to carefully those we manage, right? So, but with small amounts, quick action, quick response, right? Helping client and incorporation and the accounting process, we call it accounting process outsourcing. So we started the practice to get, you know, cash into the firm quickly. That's a quick cash to establish ourselves.
There's a question: where did you find the capital to start? What options?
Okay. No capital. I'm still telling some clients, don't think that those days era like we should have a capital pragdana to start your business. No, that's your brain. Brain is your capital. You have to strategize cleverly and clear. Right? Recently, one young person was a CEO of a company who came to me. He said, I would invest in this company, but I don't have money. Yeah, sure. Right. So this is the practice. So they are telling, this is a good advice I give to them. The company is making losses. He wants to sell the business. I don't have money, 150 million to buy this one. Okay, I do understand. So that I want to get this one. Can you advise? Say, yes, I do. It's a free of charge advice. No, I said, now he can't sell business making losses. No one would buy immediately. He knows that one, who started the business. You give him a plan, I'll take it. This business, I'll make it turn around to profit within that period. If that is the case, the buying price should come down to this, etc. So then he got into that. It happened. So therefore, capital, no need. Use my network. I had small amount of money though, right? So it's through my friends, honestly. They helped me to secure a place to have my table and employee, right? They did not charge. And quickly, cash inflow, I got something reached in the sense to have sufficient money. So one thing also, Tishan, I realized, once you start something, nature start giving you, right? Nature start giving you. So I have realized that nature start giving you. Anything you start, that's how it is. If you take it in that way, and if you manage, those things are given by the nature, so that will manage strategy. Then you can start your thing. Therefore, I had a little amount of money. Even I can't remember how much. I'm telling you, I didn't have money. Friends helped me. I used my brain. Within 1 or 2 months, I got cash into my account.
Thank you, Dr. Jamshed.
I shared one of my friends' office. That's one office, audit firm, that he shared it with me. That's one example. Then I shared my office with me, another friend of mine, to have his audit firm in my firm. Right? So I help him also to, someone helped me to have my firm, 1 or 2 tables in his place. Likewise, I help even other friend to have his audit firm in my audit firm. So that's the friendship and relationship. No,
thank you, Dr. Jamshed. In fact, there's another question. Except calling for friends, what are the other strategies that you have used to secure jobs at the initial stage? Now, I can also add on to that. I could remember when I decided to move from my previous firm and go on my own. I basically joined my friends, to have our practicing relationship. That time also I did exactly the same thing. I called all my friends and I said, exactly, I'm moving out, and if you like, you can help me finding some assignments. And I started getting work. In fact, Dr. Jamshed, you also referred some work to me.
Yes. Okay. Likewise, friends are the kind of resources, in the sense, like that obviously I must tell others, your friends, close friends, genuine friends. But for you to get yourself genuine also today, right? So that friendship is very important. As is the trustworthiness, reliability, those matters.
It's a give and take. I'll tell you, the very first job when I started our consulting practice, given by Chamara, I charged 700,000 rupees.
Okay.
Right? And I'll tell with the number. It was a big amount. I mean, I managed to meet the salary bill of the consulting for 2-3 months with that amount of money. I mean, that amount he would have taken the job and billed for himself. So that's the sharing we have.
And a nice one thing also I have to share. Now, when I just start the practice, within a very short period, Institute got to know I'm a bit friendly with Institute staff as well those days. And they got to know that my staff is very much conversant with the computers, etc. And the Johan Perra was the president that time. That I was from his firm as well. He gave us assignment, Tishan. So it's a very confident information, clear up assignment. I'm so happy that he trusted me in that assignment, right? So it's a big money. It's a bit of a, that time also, it's a bit quite of a lot money. People help me because that is a maybe trustworthy and reliable person, maybe the reason. After I remember Johan introduced me to one of his other friend. He think that I can do it because they can trust me, right? So likewise, there are people, they don't know, those still I remember. They don't know. So I remember because that is a trustworthy and reliability. That's your quality. Even that is from our profession. You can learn it from fundamental, principles of profession. Don't look at anything. Take those things to life. Even I use accounting concept, consistency to my life success. Once you start something, consistently do it. Don't change. That I learned it from the accounting principal concept. And that's why next one is a going concern. Going concern, accountants, accounting. No, I use it for me. If I think tomorrow, then hit a marriage, then likewise, if you go to think that one, no, you said going concern, you will live and do it. Like either prudent concept, prudence. How beautiful the prudent concept. Those I used honestly to become a successful person in this my practice. Yeah.
And the other thing is, as you rightly stated, other than the accounting outsourcing assignments, some of these SMEs, they can't afford to have chartered accountants full time, maybe on a weekly basis. I know some of my friends, they visit these places on a weekly basis, maybe half a day per week, or maybe 1 day per week, and maybe 2 days a week, and they get some fixed income in that manner per month. So if you find 1 or 2 jobs like that, at least you will be able to meet your own the money for you to survive first, right? And in the meantime, the practice is developing. You would deploy 1 or 2 people, and whatever the kind of with the work and the cash flows, you will be able to meet the overheads. In the meantime, for you to survive, for you to look after your family with those type of advisory work for SME clients. And if you are doing a job at the moment, I'm sure if you are into a good circle of friends, they will help you to find 1 or 2
very important
good assignments which should give you fixed cash flow.
Exactly.
And if they are holding high positions, my experience, they will create jobs for you. If you are a good, but then friendship is a good give and take.
Yeah, that's what people did for me, Tisha. And honestly, they did it because they know that they have helped me. And another thing I want to advise is people are going to start the practice. Don't ready to do business with clients. Okay, don't do that. Right. So I principally decided not to do other business with clients. Clients are clients. Even I'm telling still my staff. Remember, clients are clients, though they are friendly, but no, clients are clients. Don't do business with client. If you want to do business with client, you have to, it's a different kind of way that I don't advise. I didn't do that one. I do my business, new things with my friends, right? My friends only. So not with clients. That's my thinking or the policy. So I do with my friend, but not with clients. Yeah.
Right.
Any more questions, Tishan?
More than questions, we get a lot of appreciations, regarding your speech, for especially sharing your thoughts.
Okay, I can see now.
I think, the time is up, so that we can conclude. Dr. Chamara, you have covered, wide spectrum of your experience. We do really appreciate, and you gave a good head start for the series of sessions, right? And then we do really appreciate. So with that, Niroshi, we would be able to conclude on our first session, inaugural session, on high note. Niroshi, is there anything that you like to mention regarding the CPD?
So for CPD, hi, Tishan. Thank you, Dr. Chamar Bandara. That was very, very productive. So for CPD, we have actually shared the link to confirm the CPD. So all the participants can do that. And also a gentle reminder on the second session, which will happen in 2 weeks. That's going to be on 11th March. So most of you have registered. In case if you have not registered yet, please do that. So the topic of the session 2 is acquire a firm and develop the practice. So that might be a very productive one for most of you. So that's about it from us, Tishan.
Yeah. All right. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Bandara, thank you very much. And we'll meet up in another session. And we do hope the participant would stay engaged with the sessions. Next session is also very important. If you have some capital, or if you think that you can, find some capital, you can think of acquiring a firm, right? And then, so you will get the flyer. The speaker would be Mr. Saman Srilal, who acquired T.A. Ratnayak and Company. And before that, both me and Saman, we did the due diligence in acquiring Puimanasingam company, when we both were partners in our previous firm. So when you acquire a firm and after acquisition to run a firm, there are certain risk factors, there are certain synergies that you need to look at. It's interesting starting from analyzing your risk with your due diligence, negotiating funding with the financial institutions, the sort of things that the financial institutions would look at, ensuring your cash flow, retaining the clients of the acquired firm. Some of the clients would have the loyalty with the previous practitioner, then that loyalty need to get transferred to the acquirer, and many more things. And then someone, I'm sure, would be sharing those experiences with you. With that note, we would like to conclude the session. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Thank you, Tishan, everyone.
Thanks, Dr. Bandara.
Good night.
Thank you, Tishan, Dr. Bandara. Have a great weekend. Bye.